for the very first time on these historic streets.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Here today, this is history. Right here, right now. This is history. A new motor race conceived in liberty. The Freedom 250. As the drivers hurtle down in front of the Capitol building, they will round turn one. They will see the green flag waved by President Trump.
Green, green, green.
We have green. We are racing in the Freedom 250. Alex Palou with a great start down the inside, running down towards turn one. Kirkwood tries to get around him immediately and into the lead. He squeezes the championship leader. They all get through seemingly cleanly. And it's a good start from Palou and from Kirkwood, who is still side by side on the run down to 3.
And here it is. He's not giving up yet. Kirkwood has taken the lead as Rasmussen now on the inside of Scott McLaughlin in that yellow machine. He gets checked up.
Contact in the back. You see debris flying as McLaren teammates go side by side. Those two papaya color cars.
It's Christian Lundgaard making positions up. That's Marcus Armstrong in the Stars and Stripes ahead of him. But look at the lead already for Kyle Kirkwood. A brilliant start from the American. There is David Malucas in the red, white and blue Stars and Stripes
Yellow,
livery as well.
yellow.
But we have a full course yellow for Debris on that opening lap. Well, it's come quickly, the first full course yellow. And perhaps not surprising with the challenge of this circuit is because of this contact between Marcus Armstrong going into the back of Christian Rasmussen and a piece falling off his car.
And what really all started with Rasmussen going side by side with McLaughlin, then having to check up, maybe caught the anti-stall, maybe had to downshift, caused the Constantina effect behind him. Car ran into the
we are under caution for Debris out on track as Romain Grosjean and Kiffin Simpson had a great little side by side, but yellow is out. And there is a big bit of debris coming off one of the cars.
I wonder if that's a follow-up from the contact we saw in that first lap, because that's from the same part of the race.
With Christian Lundgaard.
Yeah, it was always going to happen at some point in this stint. The longer you run, the more likely the hard tire is to start going faster. McLaughlin is doing a good job, though. He was the third quickest car on that last lap. So even when it starts feeling bad from behind the wheel, that's where that communication with the pit wall is so important. He sees the top two leading, running away from him, but those are the only two cars on track that are faster than him. So just keep cool, keep calm, keep doing what you're doing. And right now, like you say, Lundgaard starting to press these cars in front of him on the soft tire.
Big crash. That's David Malucas. Oh my goodness, Stingray Rob's gone straight into the side of him. That's through turn 7. The young American hoping to have an alternate strategy here today.
I think Malucas clipped the inside of turn 7. It fired him into the outside wall. Stingray came around, blind corner.
It happened right in front of our booth with a thunderous impact into the concrete barrier. The AMR safety team immediately on the scene. They've got to be careful.
Oh my goodness. And two drivers coming through there at full racing speed. They should have backed off under full yellow. That was incredibly silly.
The thing, though, Will, is you don't know where the accident is around the blind walls. The cautions are out, but they are racing to pack up. It is a very unkind situation for the safety team and the drivers. Now everybody is seemingly under control as the field goes through. And poor Stingray Rob had nowhere to go as he came around the corner. I don't doubt yet. Great to see Malucas climb out.
Well, we heard it before we saw it. The shattering crunch of an Indy car into the wall. Stingray Rob coming through that corner with nowhere to go. Two Americans out in one moment. Where moments ago the pit lane was open, the majority of the field has come in as David Malucas and Stingray Rob's cars are taken away from that moment side of turn 7. Now this was in the pit lane. That is Alex Palou leaving the pit lane and pushing back a tire we think was ready for Mick Schumacher's RLL car. Now ordinarily that might be a penalty, and I am hearing that car 10 championship leader Alex Palou has been given a drive-through penalty for striking the tire of another driver on pit lane. We don't see this driver make mistakes often, We've seen a couple this season, unlike the driver of the 10 car.
I think this is a good call. Yes, Kyle Kirkwood's coming down the lane, but I don't think that Alex Palou was really forced anywhere. He just cut it way too close.
Feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience. I feel that is the lamp that will guide Alex Palou today, as we have 2/3 of this race left to run. Graham Rahal hits the wall as he tries to take them back to green, and Rinus VeeKay will make the move, under braking into one, and take the lead.
He does it. He bogs. He
Problems.
bogs big time coming out of turn 1 as you see Palou dive into the pits to serve the penalty.
Here comes Kyle Kirkwood looking up the inside of VeeKay. Kiffin Simpson side by side with Grosjean.
But does Rahal have damage? Side by side, VeeKay and Kirkwood. Now Scott McLaughlin's going on the inside of the young Dutch driver. That PPG machine, the blue, oh, now he's gonna look on the outside of Kirkwood.
Absolutely wonderful between these drivers. It's clean so far, and McLaughlin knows that this is his opportunity to take the fight to Kirkwood ahead, but Kirkwood takes the fight to Grosjean on the inside, and look at Armstrong late on the brakes, straight into Rasmussen. Rasmussen into VeeKay.
You can see it coming from a mile away. Christian keeps it going, but VeeKay's in the wall and out of this race. The caution flag flies.
We have a saying in motor racing, yellows breed yellows, because when you unleash these guys, what comes next?
So this is kind of where it started coming out of 4. McLaughlin had a slow getaway.
And it's all on Armstrong.
Oh, look at that.
So late on the brakes, never under control. Smashes into Rasmussen, Rasmussen into VeeKay. Both of them spin around.
There'll be a penalty coming to the 66 of Armstrong, undoubtedly, for avoidable contact. I mean, VeeKay's already through the corner, has no idea what's, he just gets hit from behind. You're thinking biggest mover as the 15 is in.
Well, here comes Ericsson. You want a big mover. What about Marcus Ericsson late on the brakes?
Wow.
Slides through turn 1. That's a gutsy pass. And Nolan Siegel's going to try and go through as well. You know what? Every move that Ericsson makes, like the one he put on Dixon, Siegel's just there to pick up the crumbs as well.
Boy, what a week Marcus Ericsson is having. It was aggressive driving like that gave him his first win for Andretti. Nice slide job there from the Swede.
One more position for Marcus Ericsson, and he's up in the top 10. It's not out of the realms of possibility that Ericsson could go 2 for 2 in 2 weeks on 2 brand new circuits. This the move, James, up the inside, late on the brakes.
And he saw him fade to the driver's right and then cut driver's left, a little bit locked up, a little bit correction going in. You see him, he's right. He goes left, gets a little bit of lock, has to steer out of it. Honestly, heads up from Hauger too. Hauger saw him there, saw he had a bit of a moment. It cost him an extra position to Siegel, but at least his car's undamaged and he's still in the race because he's having a good one as Hauger.
He's making his strategy work as Palou stops. And there's a problem.
Wheel nut's not on.
The left front is not on. The wheel nut won't tighten. They finally get it on.
Clear.
And a day that had already looked difficult for Alex Palou is starting to look impossible, because there's Kyle Kirkwood and Alex Palou goes a lap down.
Wow. Huge championship implications as they run right now. Alex Palou would have lost 43 points in the championship battle, and it'll be very, very difficult for him to claw it back now. We talked about fastest race lap earlier. This is the opportunity for Alex Palou on brand new sticker soft tires and clean air to try to get his lap back.
2 mistakes on pit lane. One, definitely the hands of Palou. The second, you see it there, that front left, it's not on. They have to stop him. He stops. They bring it back. And finally, that wheel nut goes on.
So the left front tire changer was trying to clock the wheel, and when he got the gun to the nut, the air jack was released before the nut was tightened. A rare mistake from the number 10 crew.
But honestly, great recovery. They got the car stopped. They didn't even have to pull it back. It was still close enough to the marks that the air hose for that left front wheel gun was able to reach, but you never would have thought it. 7th pole of the season coming in here. We haven't had a driver have 7 poles since Simon Pagenaud back in 2016. And for him to now be running from pole position down in 21st and off the lead lap, Look, still a long way to go.
And Kevin, Christian Lundgaard's coming to you from the top positions.
And what is notable about Lundgaard is he is the only driver left that has 2 pairs of sticker softs. These are the faster compound. Will they last long enough? That's what he's going to be able to finish on.
Great point. Is this the smart strategy from Arrow McLaren? Save the soft tire, that sticky, fast rubber, for the final 2 stints of the race.
And James, this is exactly what Christian Lundgaard told us he wanted to be, is the fast guy at the end. As we watch Kyle Collette exit pit lane, cold tires, Christian Rasmussen to the outside, and boy, Christian Rasmussen has been a target today. Got hit by Armstrong earlier, and Kyle Collette coming right across the racetrack into the side of him.
Yeah, not much, again, that Rasmussen could have done there. It allows Armstrong to get alongside Kyle Collette as well, not able to pull the move off. But going back to Lundgaard and that tire strategy, soft to finish, exact opposite of what Kyle Kirkwood decided to do with his tire strategy. He started on the softs, went to a set of softs, so we know that he's got to at least do one of the final stints on the hards and then make a decision on what he does for that final run.
He's in the fight for the podium as our leader is in.
Kyle Kirkwood had a 10-second lead before coming to the pits. Now they've got soft, the next set of Firestone tires. It's a hard. They're going to take 1 turn, a front wing out, and down the way, Kevin.
So Kyle Kirkwood is going to easily win that race up pit lane, and he's actually right behind Scott McLaughlin right now, who comes in his box near the exit of pit lane. He'll get shell fuel. He has the option. He's going to do the hard compound here, so he's going to be able to finish off on another new set of softs. McLaughlin's back out.
Long fill for Scott McLaughlin, needs all that fuel. He'll exit behind Santino Ferrucci, behind Alexander Rossi, who sweeps around him in the braking zone for turn 1. Rossi, who needs to pit. Power, who needs to pit, leads the race. And for those hoping for a good day with Pato O'Ward, we've seen more of his teammate Christian Lundgaard than of him. We saw his pit stop when he came back out on track. He actually ran deep at turn 6, and this has cost him, Townsend, about 7 or 8 places in the race.
Yeah, trickiest brake zone like we talked about pre-race, and it just bites Pato O'Ward. He gets the big rear kick, rear lock up, thing goes sideways. A beautiful job, really, from the 5 driver to keep it off the wall. He drops all the way back to 17th, but James, that could have so easily been the end of the day.
Could have been.
Can piece together. There'll be one more stop for both drivers to make it at the end. Meanwhile, further back, this battle really starting to get spicy. That's Louis Foster, who's off strategy, who just ducked in. On board now, thanks to NTT with Nolan Siegel.
Yeah, perhaps Louis Foster there. Not having a great weekend. Oh, hello, Newgarden up the inside of Siegel. That was late, instinctive and bold from the American. Beautiful stuff from Newgarden, and that puts him up into the top 10.
That white, green, and blue car, the Brazilian rookie of Kyle Collette, has been very impressive this season and today. I've been watching him rip through turn 7, and now these 2 rookies, Hauger and Schumacher. Schumacher stuffing it up the inside.
They've been going at it for like the last 5 or 6 laps. Schumacher just hounding Hauger all over his gearbox, was able to get that job done. Those are the 3 rookies, Collette, Schumacher, and Hauger. Hauger's leading the rookie points battle right now.
And if you are new to IndyCar, that is right. If you do recognize that name, Mick Schumacher's son of the 7-time Formula One world champion Michael Schumacher is in his first season of IndyCar racing.
All right, guys, now is the time to watch this gap down to Scott McLaughlin in second, because Kyle Kirkwood has caught the tail end of the lead lap, and these cars are running a decent pace. It's not going to be easy to get around them. Armstrong's that first car. We know he had pace. He was running inside the top 10 before that penalty. So this is going to slow down his laps and give McLaughlin a great chance to catch up as we ride on board with the IndyCar Benevolent Foundation on board.
The rest of the way. And then there's Scott McLaughlin. He's very much in the mix as he moves through traffic right now and getting around Louis Foster. By the way,
Foster almost loses it.
Cast on his hand and said he's just trying to survive today.
Foster almost loses it sideways through the corner. That's allowed Lundgaard to get through, and Christian Lundgaard will say thank you very much as he heads on after Scott McLaughlin.
I talked to Louis Foster just before the race today, and I said, how are you suffering right now? I know his hands hurt, and he said, I'm suffering emotionally, physically. I don't feel well. I feel like I'm sick. I'm bummed about last week. He's a wounded guy hanging on here to try to make it to the finish.
Let's take a look at what just happened there. You see McLaughlin going by, puts him wide on the dirt as he gets on the power. Massive slide opens the door for Lundgaard to go by.
And what a brutal contrast it must be for Louis Foster. 1 week ago today, he was the man to beat on the streets of Ontario, and he is now,
oh my goodness,
the man being beat all over the place.
Hey, we talk about the Andretti's looking quick today. What about this guy? Will Power fighting through up and past the ECR and towards the back of O'Ward. Power is coming, and guys, he needs to, because he's in fourth and he's chasing after Lundgaard and McLaughlin for that chance of finishing on the podium.
Well, just up the road. Guys, Ericsson's pit. Ericsson has jumped into the pit lane. He is going to be the first one to take that bite and put everyone in front of him on call.
That's the moment. That's the mark.
And I like it because you're splitting your strategies. You've got Kirkwood out there leading. You've got Power in the mix. Full tank of fuel. He's going to need a full tank. He's going to need to save a bit. It's going to be the opposite of what he did last week in Markham when he had the fuel and could push 10 tenths. And now his teammate George is in the pits.
Kirkwood's in for his last stop of the day. This one's going to mean everything for him. He was over 15 seconds ahead of the field before this, and it's going to be a pair of Firestone hard tires. They're going to fill it up with fuel to last the end.
Big exhale if you're the strategist, Brian Herta. A smart move to cover. You've got the fastest car on the track. Don't risk it.
And there's his teammate Will Power. Look ahead of him. That's Lundgaard. The red, white and blue of Scott McLaughlin is just ahead of them both. These drivers at the moment are running first, second and third on track because Kirkwood has pitted from the lead.
Is there any history between these two? Is Scott McLaughlin?
Power doesn't pit. He doesn't pit. He wants to stay out and put down the fast laps. Kevin, McLaughlin's coming to you.
And who he's really going to be racing is Christian Lundgaard because Kyle Kirkwood is checking out. But it is a set of softs for McLaughlin. Chevy, though, may have to save a little bit to get home from here. A little bit longer in this stop. They had to get it as full as possible as Shell fuel.
And I will just want to throw out that Grosjean did move over, so he finally got the right thing. But here's the blend, guys.
McLaughlin's out ahead of Lundgaard, but Lundgaard's tires will be up to temperature. He'll have the grip, he'll have the pace, but he runs a little deep into turn one, and that will do him no favors at all.
That was a huge mistake from Christian Lundgaard. He had a great opportunity to close and pounce. He allows McLaughlin some space with that mistake, and now McLaughlin finding tire temperature very quickly.
Will Power rounds the first corner. Does he duck into pit lane, or can he stay out on the track and try to recoup some of the time lost? He's staying out. He's staying out, and his last lap time was a 59.123, 3 seconds faster than his last lap. Everybody around him is circulating in the 1 minute or higher. If Power can stay out for a couple more laps, he could make the difference.
If he has gas.
I think that radio call we heard was that from the 26 pit this lap, he's got these 3 lap cars in front of him now. Whether it's a gas situation or a traffic situation, I think coming in now with 32 to go is going to be 31 to go when he crosses the line.
He's so fast, he's going to catch the traffic anyways. Will Power has to pit right now.
Use some overtake on the way in if you can.
So you know what the gap is. It's roughly 28 seconds. Time lost on pit, so that's going to put him somewhere just behind Christian Lundgaard, where he was before.
At this time, you're going to have a clear in.
See how quickly he caught that group. Between Grosjean and this whole sequence has cost Power a couple of seconds for sure.
Georgia, Power's coming to you.
No one around him. Clear in and clear out for Will Power, the 15-time street course winner. The thing about Will Power, he has a fresh set of Firestone soft tires on it. He's down.
It's a nice stop.
Really sharp stop there from Andretti Global, 7.4 seconds.
So we'll be watching the left side of the screen for Christian Lundgaard, but first it'll be Scott McLaughlin, the blue and white car just about to enter the frame.
There he is.
Lundgaard.
Power will floor it. McLaughlin gets through. Lundgaard gets through. They're side by side, but McLaughlin is past. So it's as you were, first, second, third, and fourth.
And all Will Power can do is say thank you, Romain Grosjean, in a sarcastic way, because I think that's the difference. Being caught behind the lap traffic, James, put him behind these two.
But you heard them say from pit lane, from when those two drivers pit, I'm talking McLaughlin and Lundgaard, powered by Chevy, they were going to have to save a little bit of fuel. The Honda seemed to be making better fuel mileage. Power pit 2 laps longer than McLaughlin, 3 laps longer than Lundgaard. He is going to have no issues with fuel mileage at all. And then, as always, keep an eye on the push to pass. 67 seconds. He's got more to power than both Lundgaard and McLaughlin in front. I have some. Oh, we got a yellow.
We got a yellow, a full course
It's
yellow.
Palou.
Oh my goodness! It's the championship leader, Palou, and we talk about the mistakes that he has made or that the team has made today. We don't often see multiple mistakes in an entire season. We've seen 3 in one afternoon.
So let's see. This is going into turn 3.
Oh.
Did he clip it?
I think the right rear did. I don't think the right front got it. I think he got it with the right rear. But wait a second, the left rear was already damaged.
He hit something. He was bouncing around.
Oh yeah, the left rear
was already broken. Maybe that was from turn 2?
2. Cassidy Tower is down there at Andretti. Can't believe what she's seeing. I don't think
as Kirkwood brings him on to the start straight for the restart.
We love the sound of that. Kirkwood did have a 10-second gap. That gap is nothing. He floors it, slides it out of the final corner on the run down to turn 1. McLaughlin looking racy. Looking up the inside. McLaughlin, oh, and he's in the wall!
Big contact for Scott McLaughlin. He still drives, and there's contact behind.
Rosenquist spins.
Full course caution.
Full course yellow, but who had gone where before it came out? Kirkwood leads, Lundgaard second, Power is third, Ericsson is fourth, McLaughlin is out. Big send at turn 1 and straight into the wall.
He knew how quick Kyle Kirkwood was. He knew his advantage was early on that restart.
And he thought that was the time and the opportunity, but James, as you see his tires as McLaughlin skids to a stop, you remember how dirty this racetrack is after 120 laps offline. Just way too much. Look at all of the stuff here that he's collected offline. Some of that would have been to the inside as he lunged on Kirkwood.
So let's take a look. Kirkwood goes to defend a little bit, then cuts back. And it's a last-minute decision for McLaughlin. Just cannot get it slowed up. And Kirkwood did a good job to not get collected by the car bouncing back off the tires.
Not just into the wall, into that tire barrier at speed. Rear right done, front right done.
Oh, McLaughlin would like to have that one back.
Everybody just wanted to win this race, and this was his chance. Even Kirkwood, you saw, was locked up going in on the harder tire. And this is what happened to Rosenquist behind the melee up front.
Oh, he just spun it on his own.
Wow. Wow.
Goodness me.
That unexpected just got on the power.
I think his car's going to be okay, though. It was a perfectly square hit. Unfortunately, he's just past pit in, but when he does come in, they should be able to replace the nose. On board with Lundgaard.
Lundgaard thinking he was going to get a shot at the lead here had the yellow not come out before they got down. You see the yellow's already out there.
Kyle Kirkwood's thinking, you know what, I really prefer a 10-second lead over a restart here as McLaughlin just sends it.
The first 2 drivers in the running order now are Kyle Kirkwood and Christian Lundgaard. They will be in a few moments, folks. 14 to go. It'll be 13 when they cross the line.
Green, flag.
Kirkwood's actually had a really great run out of that final corner down into turn 1. I don't think anyone will be close enough to have a look. Almost contact behind as Schumacher runs wheel to wheel with one of his rivals over the bumps down Pennsylvania Avenue. 13 to go on the streets of Washington, D.C. Kirkwood's got a great restart.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. Mastered the brake pedal for turn 1. How about Kiffin Simpson and Nolan Siegel? Nolan Siegel has had a quiet but confident day, and he is on pace for his best ever IndyCar finish if he can finish in 6th or better.
Everything this place represents. What an honor to be here, surrounded by my friends, making new friends in a country that's taken me to its heart and that I absolutely adore, as it has for so many of us who come here chasing that American dream, given the belief that, like Kyle, if you work hard enough and you dare to dream, nothing's impossible.
On the pace laps, guys, these drivers were going around waving to the fans, but there was still a long 147-lap race in front of them when this checkered flag falls on what could be the only race around the Capitol here in D.C. I hope every driver takes a second to look up look out and take in the scenes like this here. One of the most beautiful settings we've ever seen for an IndyCar race. You'll have that cool down lap to really soak it in. And if you're the one that's taking the checkered flag, as Kyle Kirkwood clocks the line with only 2 laps to go, it's going to be one of the most special moments of a driver's career.
James, I'm so glad you brought up the fans, because just in the one corner where we're standing and looking out in turn 7, there are thousands of people that have not moved for the last 3 hours. They have been here loyally, enthusiastically, watching in wonderment like we all have for many years with this sport. And for this American driver, Kyle Kirkwood, on probably the grandest stage outside of the Indy 500, to do it in his home country, what a feeling he must have in the cockpit right now.
We hold this truth to be self-evident. Isn't anybody in this championship who drives street courses quite like Kyle Kirkwood.
Next, bring it home, buddy.
This young American who started the week in New York City lighting the Empire State Building red, white, and blue has lit up this racetrack for 250 miles. This may be the only time that we ever race on the streets of Washington, D.C. What a celebration it has been of this championship, of this country, of everything that makes both of them great. And what a driver we have in Kyle Kirkwood to bring it home for a famous victory. There will only be one winner of the Freedom 250, and how fitting that it's Kyle Kirkwood. As the Secretary of Transportation waves the checkered flag, Kyle Kirkwood wins an American on the top step of the podium at the Freedom 250.
Thank you, Santa Claus. Thank you, Andretti. You guys are awesome in the pits today. Congrats. You guys deserve this one. Thank you so much.
Freedom 250.